Okay, so hi, it's Ryan again, the GM. It is Quest 4, Session 7, I think, the 16th of July 2018. Still GMing. Here are the players.
Hi, I'm Claire, and today I am playing Elphdara, who is a level 2 ranger.
Hi, I'm Calum. I am playing Saul-Tana, the strongest level 1 paladin.
Hello, I'm Haley. I'm playing Jonan Godmundar, the human fighter, level 2.
Hero overtime.
Hello, I'm Ross, and today I'm playing Booker, the halfling thief, who's not dead yet.
I do love the additional. They're like slogans on t-shirts. Ross, I'm enjoying them.
Not dead yet.
Not dead. Doesn't like grills. So good. Yeah. Right. Okay. We are going to do bonds first. That's what we're going to do. So let's start with Calum, since he is new. Hello, Calum.
Hello.
Can you go to your bonds? And it's maybe handy having that 28-page PDF open with you.
Yep, it is.
Yep. If you want to just read out your bonds, and then we'll pick the best fit out of the folks.
Okay. Someone's misguided behavior endangers their very soul. Someone has stood by me in battle and can be trusted completely. I respect the beliefs of someone, but hope they will someday see the true way. Someone is a brave soul. I have much to learn from them.
Any takers?
What class are you playing again?
Paladin.
Paladin.
Strongest paladin. It's a very unique class.
Level 1.
Level 1.
I hope you don't die for saying that.
I mean,
I hope you all
feel
brought
like
health
might
potions.
jinx it. I mean,
I don't need health potions
I
myself.
don't need health potions, but I hope you brought some for you.
So good.
don't tell anyone, but can I have one of your health potions?
Not for me, of course, just to hold tightly and drink.
I'm asking for a friend.
I am that
Let me
friend.
check to make sure this is actually a health potion and not some other.
We just forgo the RP and just do improv, apparently. But all improving the same character.
That actually sounds fun.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Nonsense. It's just called character assassination, though, isn't it? That's all it is.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad we've invented a game.
We should play that at my barbecue.
Character assassination. Be easy enough to make characters Dungeon World.
Oh man, I forgot about the barbecue.
Yeah. Where we can re-meet in person, Ross.
And
Yes.
eat meat at the same time
Oh!
as meeting.
Re-meat.
We can,
Eat meat. I need to get that made on a t-shirt.
in theory, we could just meet in general. Really.
Meat.
Just meat. One with an A, one without an A. The distinction is important.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna write off all those other comments. So,
So my Booker's behavior could be perceived to be misguided, as he's a thief. That's the only one that sticks out for me, personally.
Yeah.
Or not me
Yeah,
personally.
I mean-
Booker personally.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I quite like that, especially since you are both newish. And I know that Elphdara and Jonan have a bond, you know?
We have 2 bonds. Or I have 2 bonds.
So,
You're like that.
yeah.
Puts its fingers together.
I've got one bot. So it's just
It's just that I have an unresolved one from when we started.
Do you still have bonds with Willie?
I never had a bond with Willie.
Willie has a bond with Elphdara.
Willie has a bond with me, but I think we resolved it. Because it was the...
I think we said we'd get back to that because it's a bit jank.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really,
I mean, you're a sapphire now, so it hardly matters.
it hardly matters.
Oh yeah,
It's hard matter.
I've got fulfilled in all caps next to that bond, so I think it's
Right, okay, so Calum, do you wanna
Yeah. I shall
put in Booker?
Booker. Booker's misguided behavior endangers their very soul.
Now, tell me how you know that. That's the thing that's going to be interesting, because it implies history, doesn't it?
Hmm. Well, we're both adventurers.
He's a pure shady bam.
But, like, is there a reason, like, say, for example, Calum hasn't turned in, like, Ross's character? Is it, like, are yous friends? Like, do yous have history that way? Are yous maybe, like, did yous grow up in the same place? Are yous... I know, obviously, there's a halfling and a human to contend with, but I could see adventure there, you know?
Oh, see, one of my bonds, not to like go like a double bond, but I've got blank, nose incriminating details about me.
It's kind of good, though, isn't it? Like, it is...
That kind of just works.
Yeah...
Maybe I
Although, do you know what I
not
like better?
saved, but maybe helped him some way by committing a crime.
Or maybe you stole from him, and because he saw potential in you, he decided not to turn you in.
So the weird thing is,
Mm.
the one I liked the most was has my back when things go wrong, because it implies the friendship there. If that's what you wanted
That's
to do,
true.
if you
Mhm.
wanted to be friends, it depends how Saul-Tana would be with thieves.
Well, I purely because of the way I'm built, I would deny mercy to any criminal or unbeliever.
Well,
So,
So maybe
so I
not.
don't feel we'd get on very well.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we'll just put some bonds in with Ross with someone else. Do you want to read out your bonds, Ross?
eh, I stole something from blank. Blank has my back when things go wrong. Blank knows incriminating details about me, and blank and I have a con running.
I don't see the last one being valid for MD here. Like, I'd say that had we managed to get Emma in this game, that'd have been perfect because she's also playing a thief, or the other Ross, who's also playing a thief. But yeah, I'd say maybe probably no con, because I just don't see Jonan being that deceitful or elf.
He's never been a builder.
He's actually just a psychopath.
Yeah.
But no, like, MD, get any ideas for those ones? Like, it can be MD.
Stealing one's easy.
Yeah, I mean, that is easy. The only thing is we don't really want it to be
Oh my
Elphdara
God.
and the Sapphire.
Yes.
No.
I think that's a hard pass from me there as well. It's interesting though, but also no. It would be, I had stolen something and gave it back for plot reasons.
I ditch it in a river.
Who want, like, I really like either, like, see the two middle ones, like the has my back when something goes wrong, or it knows incriminating details about me. Like, because knowing incriminating details doesn't rule out being someone's friend either, right? It just means you know enough about the person to get them in trouble.
It might mean that you are, though. Maybe, like, something bad's happened while he's been doing something criminally, and he feels the need to tell someone, so he chooses to confide in you, and that's how they know incriminating details.
Yeah, because, like, those two are probably the best in my opinion. Besides, I have a con running is perfect for the right character. It's just, I don't necessarily think...
I mean, I'm willing to know incriminating details about you.
This is when
Okay.
Elphdara becomes the Earth Mother to all. Yeah, I'm okay. Like, if he's... But what are they?
Yeah, what are they?
You're the one that did the incriminating stuff.
What stuff?
I don't know.
Obviously, like, that's
Maybe
a, it's
I
a humble
saw you
halfling.
steal. Maybe I saw you steal something from someone in the guild while I was eating food, and I confronted you about it, and decided not to turn you in.
You're
Said
gonna
that
help
I
me
am-
on this quest, or I'm turning you in.
Well, that might tie in because obviously Elphdara is on the lookout for a cleric. So if she kind of puts down the roots of, oh well, you help me out, and if you see anyone like a cleric who seems really strong, someone that can heal,
So he found...
I believe I used to know a cleric by the name of Willie Williams.
He wasn't so strong, though. Or he didn't... He couldn't really heal much.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Also,
Don't know what
as for
happened to him.
strong healers, I mean, you've got Saul-Tana,
The strongest
paladin.
paladin, level 1.
So there's that. Come on, think of something good for this incriminating, or maybe I don't know. I still really like the idea that Calum has his back when things go wrong, even though you don't really suffer evil in that sense, you know, because you're a crazy paladin. I don't know. I
Well,
think,
maybe no one knows that I'm a thief.
okay. More words.
And I'm just a young halfling adventurer who happened upon this paladin. And we got ambushed by some goblins and got our way out of it. But I failed to mention that I was a thief. Obviously.
Also, Calum, it says criminal or unbeliever, so you could believe that Thingy is not a criminal as such, based on the
Okay.
way Ross's character portrays themselves to you, or they could also follow your god.
And I also have the flexible morals move, so my alignment can be detected by magic.
Yeah, but if he's
or
watched you steal
otherwise.
stuff, that's a bit...
Well, yeah, and I mean, I could be a very good thief and don't get watched.
But like, I don't know. There's just something an appeal about the almost Full Metal Alchemist visual of this halfling with this big suit of armor,
Yeah.
you know, as buddies. But I don't know. Again, it's
Besties.
your bonds. I'm also just trying to take the pressure off Elphdara literally being, you know, Jean Grey connected to everybody.
Hmm.
As much as I quite like the idea that she's like, you. Sorry, I'm just taking a horrible lidocaine patch off. To the joy of sore shoulders. Yeah. What's the thoughts? Let's make a decision on this one, Ross. What are we thinking? What do you like the most for your character?
I like the bond with Calum the most. I think it's most interesting, but it's up to
Well, Calum, I guess.
Calum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be really quite fun, to be honest.
What,
It'd be really interesting.
what one? The Has My Back one?
It
Or
would be really
the-
interesting to have his back, even though his criminality. Criminality, thank you. I even wrote criminality down. I'm looking at the word. I can't even say it.
Let's go for. I like that.
I think that's quite good because it's quite controversial. Because keep in mind, it's what you believe about them, not
Yeah.
necessarily what
And I can
Calum
still,
is.
I can still think they're misguided and.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily actually need to have his back. That's just
No.
what you're willing to agree he believes. You know.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get your body back, okay?
That big brother.
No, too soon. Too soon. No.
Oh God.
I think. I
As
think
long as there's no dogs.
Shh.
Unless-
Let's not
no,
do it. Let's just
no,
skip
or
over
small
that.
children.
Let's just
Oh
skip
my
over
god.
that. Why is there a fat child on my table?
No, that actually.
He's got his whole life ahead of him. Well, not anymore. Some of the highlights.
Go watch session 3 and smash that like button.
Yeah. Session 3 of Quest 1. Smash that like button. Nicolas Cage, etc. Calum is precious. Oh. No. Right. So, we're all bonded. Good. Everyone's in the world. In fact, yeah, like you guys can, if you really want to bond, like Jonan and Balana, you can bond with the
Polana.
new. Well, that's what you're called. You know that.
Even when I'm not.
It's because I stare at Discord to read this out. That's why. Even though it's Nimagim that's on Discord, not John. Also, I changed it to Sir Booker because I changed it to Booker and it moved the order around before you'd taken your turn, so I called you Sir Booker. Just so you know. Because
That
dear
works.
God, it's just. Thank you, Haley. I really appreciate that. If I was going to be that guy, I'd give you XP for that, but I don't want to be that guy. So just know in theory I would have if I was that guy.
Take non-existent inspiration.
Take friendship points.
You've got inspiration in 5e if we ever start.
There you go. Preemptive inspiration. But yeah, if you guys want to bond with the new guys, obviously I don't see the point of you guys bonding with each other anymore.
No.
I
Um,
don't
We're
want to
bonded
bond
enough.
with them. Nah.
but if you guys have got any interesting bonds you'd like to make with those two,
I'll read mine out, and if anyone like finds them interesting or wants to fill a slot on my bonds list, then I won't stop them.
Yeah.
But they also don't have to. So I have guided Blank before, and they owe me for it. Blank is a friend of nature, so I will be their friend as well. Blank has no respect for nature, and so I have no respect for them. Blank does not understand life in the wild, and so I will teach them. I'm reluctant to do the last one because I have that with Jonan.
yeah.
So it'd be
Imagine you had that bond with everyone.
none of you understand life in the wild.
Come in, we're going
Come to
camping.
the wild for a lesson in the wild.
It's like, no, Elphdara, that's where people die. It's like, you don't understand.
They only die because they don't
And
understand.
you've got a scary giant bat. It's like, it's not a bat, it's a hawk. And it's called Thorn.
And you talk to it all the time. Really, I can understand what it's saying. What? Really, can you? Can you?
Bugger.
I have blank database. Just living in the database.
Oh, whoa.
Minus inspiration. Also, no, because it's the database, living in the database. Whoa.
Well, a pure fiction cracking in my head as addiction of the world still spreads in the database.
The database. Whoa. There goes our monetization. So, yep.
We
Jonah,
don't get that anyway.
Jonah, if we hold off on yours just now, we'll just quickly do one for Elphdara first.
Yeah, it was just a joke.
Then we'll run through yours, through the database. Right, so does MD between Saul-Tana and Booker like the bonds with Elphdara?
Are either of you a friend of nature?
Not really.
No,
I'm not a friend, but I'm also not a friend.
He's like nature ambivalent.
we're kind of frenemies.
Oh.
I mean, I would imagine that frenemies means you have like a tiny bit of respect.
Yeah, that's where I craft my poisons with nature stuff. But other than that,
It's like a tree's good to hide in, but it's not good to steal from, you know? So, you know,
you can't steal gold from a tree
unless it's like a
unless it's a gold tree.
Would either of you have wanted to be guided through the woods by me? I'm a very good guide in the woods because
Saul-Tana needs no guide.
It
Or he
also
is the
could just be
strongest.
like, I have guided blah blah before and they owe me for it. Like, that could just be like Guinan style spiritual, right? I think it's meant to mean literally, but also it doesn't say that, so...
No, well, yeah, no, you can have that. It's like I've tried to tell someone like,
Oh no,
some
it doesn't
kind of
say you tried, it said you have guided them.
but
And
that
they
could
owe
just be
you
my
for it.
perspective on it.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I could just
You didn't
look
try,
at that and
you
go,
succeeded. They might think you're talking bollocks, but you did it.
I have guided you and you owe me. Owe you for what?
Just got this hawk screaming at you from the corner. Pay her! Pay her!
They don't understand it though. It's only me that hears that.
Yeah. Yeah, so does anyone want to have been guided by her? Probably from A to B. Or perhaps is someone a friend of nature? Is someone got no respect for nature? Or does someone not understand life in the wild? I am inclined to agree that the last bond is already taken.
Yeah.
Jonan does not understand life in the wild.
That's understandable though. Jonan built, and now Jonan destroys. Jonan is nature. That should be Jonan's new like t-shirt. The one that's just one size a bit too small for him. Like a totally meta top that he gets to wear.
In the character, when the fans do the character art for us, that will be the t-shirt he wears.
I'm just seeing Iskander, by the way, Claire, just so you know,
Uh-huh.
but with that t-shirt. Okay, but we're spending way too much time on this.
If none of you want, then that's fine.
I don't
You
think
don't need to bond. Like, as Elphdara is quite well bonded as it is, but it was just if there was one that was suitable. It just means you're going to be newbies, and you might bond throughout the adventure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Jonan.
Well, I don't think mines are relevant just now. I think he's living in the moment of the quest, so no one knows him their life yet. I think that's a good one for if that happens in game.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
I
definitely
won't-
Willie Williams if he comes back.
Yeah. I'm not going to swear to protect anyone because of
What happened last time?
we shan't speak
No.
of it, and I don't think he worries about the ability of anyone because he doesn't really know anyone yet. So
But that's a good way to have known someone. Like, for example, the thief, you're like, yeah, I worry about Booker because, well, you're half the size of me. So, like, that's not a terrible one, but it's... Because keep in mind, this is how you make history with people. You just say, oh, we were this, as opposed to, we have to have lived it.
maybe I worry about the ability of Saul-Tana.
Just Elphdara again, just triple down on her.
just because of the boasts, and from working in the yard, I know a lot of boasts are
And that mission you were on with 3 healers and, you know, you nearly all died.
yeah, so I would worry about the ability of anyone who boasts. I guess I've heard him tell, you know, everyone in the guild how strong he is and stuff.
Yeah, he's always that guy waiting at the quest board to be picked, but he's,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm the strongest level 1
But I'm
paladin.
the strongest level 1 paladin.
You need me on your team because I'm the
You
strongest.
need me. I've got little like leaflets that I hand out.
Leaflets are a bad
With just,
omen.
like,
Oh man,
No more leaflets.
Willie had
Die.
leaflets too.
You pass one to me and I just crush it.
Well, Callum, you've listened to the
Oh,
first
I
one,
totally
right?
right?
forgot about that. I
Yeah.
must have picked that up subconsciously.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he's listened to the
Forgive
first
me.
one.
I have listened to the first one.
Have you? Did we get to Black Books in the first one?
No, that was in part 2 that we missed, remember? The audio links with, and we
Yeah.
lost. Well, again, I can upload all my audio, but it's weird as fuck to listen to. Just weird. Because I just sound like a madman talking to myself.
What goes on behind the push to talk?
Yeah, it's just, like I push to talk. I live on the edge, man. I'm open mic.
Has Saul-Tana ever been in like a real fight before?
It's a good question.
Has he? No, of course not.
I'm the strongest level 1 paladin, not dead.
Yeah, so maybe I came to you for advice after like an incident and I was like, so if you're really that strong, how do you protect others around you? And you're like, God knows, man, I've never spilled blood in my life. Look at this white armor.
Do you, like,
Killed a man. What?
see about that though?
Aren't paladins about looking good?
That scene is really good. I like if that should be canon purely because I like the idea that Jonan comes back and sees someone in armor and like looking like a strong paladin man. I'm gonna. That's the one I need to ask questions to. You go up and after 5 minutes of talking, you go, "You need my protection, you precious child." You're just a taller Willy, and that's the worst phrase.
But I'll add
Not even as hard as Willie at this point.
No, not at this point.
Can you change Saul-Tana's name to Saul-Tana Swing? Because I can't read it without
Okay.
thinking that now.
Yeah, Saul-Tana Swing. Swing was his original last name, and he took his god's name Tana as like a middle name. So it's Saul-Tana. The Tana. It's like a double barrel name. And then
Or
Swing.
Saul-Tana Swing? Nah.
Nah, Saul-Tana Swing. Excellent.
Oh dear gods.
Let me just update it.
So you've taken the you worry about the ability of Saul-Tana to survive in the dungeon, yeah?
Yeah, despite boasting of his ability, he's not seen real combat.
Yeah,
That
and that's
worries me.
as we discussed. In the dungeon just kind of means in the dungeon world in this context, I think, because
Yeah, I just took that part
Yeah.
out and left it to survive.
yeah, that makes more sense that way. Good. This is one of my favourite parts, to be honest. See the how are we willing to know each other part. That's one of my favourites, mostly because it just gives you guys such a great kind of starting point, I think, for RP. Also, if people want to come up, obviously we come up with a bond between Jonan and Elphdara. Obviously, if it doesn't fit the exact text format, I'm sure we can discuss if that's a valid option for a bond going forward, because, yeah, I'm open to options. Can't say I'll agree to everything, but I'm definitely open to hearing things if naturally developed bonds appear. Much like the, Jonan and Elphdara agree to resurrect Willie, ... Right. If everybody's good with bonds, unless there's anything else to add, no?
Nope, I'm happy.
We are sufficiently bonded.
Good. Yeah. So everybody will just load into the guild hall. And yeah. Go. Maybe everybody wants to say what they look like. That's probably a good starting point as well.
Elphdara is a kind of tall elven woman. She's got quite sharp eyes. She doesn't miss much. She has a cape, a green cape. She's quite lithe in the body. And like her hair's mad. Her hair is just mad. Like you'd probably just think she was, quite a well-to-do elven woman who looks a bit outdoorsy, except her hair. Her hair is just mad.
I love the term a bit outdoorsy because I can picture exactly what you mean. Even in a fantasy setting.
She also has a huge and frightening hawk, but you don't tend to see him generally in the city because he scares people too much. That, and he's really well camouflaged, so depending where you are, you might not see him anyway.
So it's just huge, frightening hawks are generally not welcome in the city.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. Oh, it is a weird place, so never say never. Yeah, so that's Elphdara. What about Saul-Tana?
That rhymes so good.
Saul-Tana swing.
Saul-Tana swing. Yeah, he's a tall human man. He's really super beefy. He's got these really shiny shoulder pads going on. But he's wearing a cloth top with his holy symbols on it, which is just basically a bunch of circles and a fist, which I will draw and send at some point.
Okay.
If he survives. As for the rest of him, he leans on his extremely tall halberd, which looks just awesome. With there's beads coming off it, which is his holy symbols as well.
Cool.
And yeah, he's got an afro. It's white.
What age roughly would you say he is?
He's probably mid-30s.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say 36.
With a white afro.
With a white afro.
Excellent.
But that was a stylized choice. He's dyed his hair white.
He went to a hair wizard, of course.
Yeah.
Like Finbar's follicles or something.
Very, very well kept. His face is very clean. Actually, everything's really clean. He's very white and shiny.
Okay. And Jonan?
Jonan hasn't shaved in a few weeks. His hair looks a little bit unwashed and greasy at the ends. It's lost its luster. There's hard lines, hard dark circles under his eyes, and a gleam of sweat on his body.
It's his grunge phase then.
His clothes are unwashed and stained, and yeah, that's about it. His hands are dirty and his fingernails are grimy.
Okay. He's also kind of tall, kind of well built, etc., stuff that.
Yeah. I can't remember how tall he is. He's 6 foot something. Thick, he pounds some protein bars, 20 of them, in a couple of minutes. 100 eggs a day. 3 gallons of
5 dozen eggs, just like Gaston.
But for
Roughly
copyright
the size
reasons,
of a barge.
almost like Gaston, but not quite.
Yeah. Even though he looks filthy, his attractiveness to the local woman is probably skyrocketed.
Just the grunge face.
Yeah.
Elphdara's noticed.
The grease eyeliner. Okay, yeah. And what about Booker?
Booker is a average-sized halfling man.
Right.
Adult male. In a word, grubby.
Right.
He is hooded, has a dark cloak, and just sort of, in general, dark clothing. He's not like black. It's old. It's faded.
Like a favourite
He's-
black hoodie that
he's
is like been through the wash
yeah,
many times.
Yeah. He's unremarkable. He just sort of, you wouldn't really pick him out or notice him, purely because he just looks so generic, and he's got a hood,
Okay.
and he's small.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you find yourselves at the quest board. What do you do?
If I'm there, I'm probably eyeing up Jonan, because I like to think maybe I've not seen him in a while.
Mm-hmm.
He's been off doing his own thing, getting beardy, I guess.
Well, definitely not Bardy, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm not sure if Elphdara knows about that particular escapade.
Could always go ask.
Yeah. So she's probably eyeing up Jonan, like noticing that he looks a lot less well kept. The Jonan that she got to know was a well shaven, well presented man.
It's not my Jonan.
I mean, you could say this 9 went down to a 7, you know? It's, oof.
I don't know. She probably
What's
she
the
probably.
That's 2 men she's trying to fix. Oof. Elphdara, no wonder your husband's missing.
I mean, at this point, I've dumped that guard. You know, the palace guard that I was dating.
Sure.
I say dating, it was in inverted commas.
And he's inverted commas dumped, I guess, so that's fine.
I don't think she knows if they were ever really a thing. Like,
I don't think
Well, I mean-
Andy knows.
Yeah.
I think let's stick in the Jonan moment, shall we?
okay. Too many men.
Oh.
No, so she's probably kind of been looking at the quest board and then noticed Jonan. She looks him up and down, and just says, "Are you all right, Jonan?"
Oh, it's good to see you again, and well, I'm fine.
Are you sure? If there's anything I can do for you, Jonan. I know things have been rough.
Hey, you might be in the same boat, but my coin's starting to run a little bit low. I could do with a job.
Yeah, same. We should work together. I think that would be good.
Yeah. I've been staring at the board for a while, and this one here seems somewhat interesting, but I don't think we could do it alone.
Okay, we can find more people. We're in the adventuring guild. There's bound to be people who want to help.
Camera zooms out, places packed, you know. Maybe the noise from all the conversations finally floods in, and then it zooms back in that kind of almost comedic way into Elphdara's face.
Where Jonah is pointing, Elphdara's not looking. She's still kind of sort of studying the lines on his face.
Mm.
Like, yeah, I'm totally concerned about you. Like, you can see the worry in her eyes, but she doesn't vocalize that. It would just be obvious if you looked at her.
Okay. And when we zoomed in, we saw worry written in your eyes, so it was pretty obvious for the
While
audience at
they
home.
burned and screamed.
What quest is it we all want to go for? We discussing
Why don't you discuss
it
it?
in game
Yeah.
or outside?
Discuss
game?
it in game. It's way more fun.
Okay.
Endgame's fine.
Okay.
This husband has been missing for a while. It's still on the board.
Yeah. It is, isn't it? That's been up for a while.
That poor person's husband.
I mean, I hope the husband is okay.
I didn't mean to laugh.
Again, this.
I feel really bad that I laughed. I wrote the quest.
But no, like it's kind of awkward now because she's not really like registering anything that Jonan's saying. She's just looking at him like, what has happened to you?
Oh, this is the quest I was on, right?
Yeah,
I'll do
it's
it.
the one where Last Note died.
And Jonan ran away bravely.
Me and some others looked into this one ourselves, and we didn't get anywhere. We were ambushed by a brigand of bandits.
That's. Are you all right? I mean, if they were too strong for you, Jonan,
Right, dog.
you're the strongest person I know.
And upon hearing that,
Perfect.
I feel like I was like watching from like up, like just watching the quest board, seeing people who were coming in and
It's
out.
just the word strongest triggers
Yeah,
like you're
it
hearing
just,
and you
like,
go,
Aha! And I go walk up and go, greetings! It is I, the strongest paladin. And I just lean on my halberd and go, oh, hello.
Oh, it's you.
How have you been since our last chat?
Fine.
Excellent. And I kind of like slap him on the back. And
Elphdara
just
is
look at
looking
the board,
between...
looking quizzical.
It's hard.
Elphdara is looking between the two of you, and she's just like, Jonan, do you know this guy? Who is this?
My apologies. I am Saul-Tana Swing, the strongest paladin. Pleasure to
Elphdara-
meet you.
Elphdara rolls her eyes and just
they
says,
scream.
They scream.
yes, screaming eyes. She kind of rolls her eyes and
They
just
still
says,
scream.
again, yes, and she just says, Elphdara Hawk.
I like grab your hand and shake it like vigorously.
She retracts it as soon as you're done, like as if she's just touched something dirty.
Yeah, I think
She
it
is
goes on just
completely off-put.
slightly too long. Just like going, ha ha. And then
If you are joining us, perhaps we should look into the disturbance at the lake instead.
disturbances at the lake, you say? And I look at the board and go, stroking his beardless chin.
I think this whole time Booker has been standing next to Saul-Tana, like
You-
in the group, but
I like that you
nobody's
mean-
looked down.
Yeah, you're in front of the board the whole time
Yeah.
as those three have just crowded you. Yep. Maybe at this point you've all noticed that there's a halfling in front of you.
He hasn't. He's still looking at the board with his like stroking his chin.
Elphdara, probably in an effort to avert her eyes, because the presence of Saul-Tana is just really, really annoying her now because he's just so full of it. She kind of looks down and sees Booker.
What quest do you want to do, guys?
Oh, do you want to join us?
Well, I'm here.
I'm Elphdara Hawk. You're welcome to join our band of adventurers if you want to.
Before you even finish, he's like, "I'm Booker," and puts his hand up. His
Elphdara
small
shakes it.
trump-like hand.
Ugh.
No.
You'll be expected to look after yourself, little one. Same to you, paladin.
I'll be fine. I've got this hunk of beef, and he like knocks on Saul-Tana.
I'm not convinced that that will help you much, but if you're willing to take the risks, you're welcome.
Piece of cake.
Cheers, love.
Cheers, love.
Always here. Elphdara kind of looks up at Jonan, sort of gives him a look, trying to express a sense of
The screaming eyes.
these two seem completely underprepared. What are we getting ourselves into? Because obviously, like the last quest that she was on, I mean, we completed the quest, but it didn't go good.
Jonan will shrug his shoulders, grab the paper from the board, and go,
Come on, let's get started.
An excellent idea.
Elphdara just shrugs back at him and follows.
I'll just I'll hand Saul-Tana the paper and I'll say,
Here, you read it. I haven't been keeping up with my literacy lessons, and I've forgotten a lot.
Right. So what does it say?
You settled on Disturbance at the lake, did you?
Cool.
Is that right?
Mhm.
What's that? The new quest you settled on. Not investigate the Northern Road attacks. Because nobody cares about the Northern Road, apparently. Poor Northern Road.
I mean, we'll figure that one out when we escort the trader north, I'm sure.
Oh, if you ever escort the train. That's when the train goes, oh, my compass is broken, it's south I have to go.
Do you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna be like halfway up the Northern Road and be like, oh, stop kidnapping me, I'm being kidnapped. And you're like, come on, man.
He just lives in a hut outside the the city, that's how north it was.
Hopefully.
It won't be, you know that.
Money for nothing. Anyway.
Yes, indeed. Anyway. Right, so as you pick up the thing and you read the thing, it basically says, to the south there has been some weird stuff going on at the lake. Nobody really knows what's going on. Most people try and stay away from the lake because it's spooky as is. Generally, people stay away there because they say people that stare into the lake too long don't ever really come back. It's as if they lose part of themselves by looking into the water. So generally people keep their distance and only spooky people go there. So turns
Did he
out...
turn into blades?
No, don't be daft. That'd be a level 3 discovery. You know, when I feel like you could wield the bladey of the lake. And how dare you skip ahead? Excuse me, my throat's quite dry today. And yeah, so the last kind of group of, you know, worshippers of the Lady of Water haven't come back. And generally there's like pilgrimages there every now and then, like almost like in time with the moon kind of cycle, etc. But they haven't come back, and it's a bit weird. So it's the kind of the Church of Life that have sent out this kind of quest, and they're like, they never come back. That's strange. Could someone look into that for us? We don't want to because it's weird and scary, but like if you could, that'd be great. Thanks. Is the gist of it. So yeah, it's in the southern forest. You know how much you love that place. Oh, yes. So is everyone's thoughts?
Ah. Oh, okay.
In fact, well, yeah. In fact, yeah. Why don't you translate all that, Saul-Tana?
Translate all that.
Yeah.
Ah, some misguided worshippers of the Lady of the Water have disappeared to the south.
The south, huh?
The south.
I didn't think I'd be going back there so soon.
Yourself?
Ah, were you there recently? Interesting.
As I was saying to Elphdara, we were assaulted by a large group of brigands.
Oh, that sounds most unfortunate. I hope you left unscathed. Ha ha! And I walk towards where I think I'm supposed to go.
Which is
Elphdara
where?
looks up at Jonan and just says, "It'll be okay, Jonan."
There's
Wink.
like a heart look in his eyes as he turns around to you, and you can see they're a little bit glazed.
Like a harp plays very softly.
And he quickly walks off.
The harp quickly stops.
Elphdara
Is
kind
you
of
okay there, Haley?
It's just the heart quickly stopped and got me.
Elphdara kind of doesn't follow for a moment. She's kind of taken aback because he's left so soon.
Vidal Sisson.
And like she'd kind of been ready to sort of put a comforting hand on his arm, but he turned away and left. So she just kind of really slowly kind of clenches it into a fist, determined to figure out what's going on, and then follows after Jonan.
Before you follow, you hear a voice.
Yeah.
And it says, "He seems different, but not good different." And it's a slightly concerned sounding cleric you once knew.
Yep. Elphdara kind of puts her hand to where the sapphire is, and just says, "Yeah, I'm really worried about him."
And for Saul-Tana, well, Saul-Tana's kind of walked off. I guess it's just Booker that's standing next to you now. So Booker, you just hear Elphdara be like, "I'm really worried about him."
You're talking to yourself? That's a little bit weird. I'm just going to walk off.
Elphdara lets out a breath and then just follows. Her expression is just one of like utter concern and bewilderment because this is not the Jonan that she's been used to.
No, this is a level 2 Jonan.
They leveled up.
What I like though is it's like what a difference a level can make, because yous are both level 2 but yous are so different from what yous were as level 1. It's so good. But yeah, right, so yous maybe head out to the city. Yous are all here. If we transition, there we go, bam bam. And then, as you know, this is the adventuring hall where the guild is. Bip bip bip. Yeah, so I think yous all head outside. You see kind of Saul-Tana looking determined but also stationary as you all catch up. What's the plan?
Which way is south?
How can you be in an adventuring guild and not know which way south is?
It is but a test to see how the wits of my companions are compared to mine.
Yeah, you tell us. Which way south?
Elphdara kind of grumbles. I imagine from being in the city, like, if you know your way around the city, you'll probably know which way is the southern part of the city and which way is the...
what the river goes north and south.
Yeah.
So
she probably just motion with her thumb down south, like, and like roll her eyes.
they scream, obviously. Obviously.
There will be a lot of screaming of the eyes, I feel.
Phrases you never thought you would say in your adulthood, isn't it? Or maybe
great.
you did.
If we're going by any market areas, I would like to pick up some fresh linen, as in bandages.
Yeah, if you want to go
possible.
Chopin, yeah.
Chopin?
Chopin, that amazing Asian bard we were gonna create. Remember? Chopin.
Oh yeah.
Also not ready.
Before we head off, I would like to pick up some bandages in case any of us are injured on our excursion.
Claire, I just hear in my head, aren't we all a little injured here?
Oh no, no, Ryan, no flashbacks, no. Elphdara kind of closes her eyes for a second, like remembering obviously
Willie.
the injuries that the injuries that happened before, and just says, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." And starts like walking towards like a market.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't take long. Like I'd say maybe not even a half hour really, and you can head towards like the market area, etc. Is anybody else wanting to buy anything?
Negative.
I'd like to buy a book. If I can find a book, just not anything overly specific, just maybe a book about trees. If such a thing exists in the marketplace.
I mean, any particular reason? Just
I have a reason.
yeah, okay. I mean,
Just
do you have
maybe
any
find-
actual money?
The old man in the trees.
No, but I could trade for it.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that first. Let's maybe do that like as an aside to what Jonan's doing.
Cool. Just trying to see what I've got.
Are you gonna head back to Black Books or?
Oh,
I might actually.
Well, she didn't dislike you.
No, she didn't. I probably do. I'll probably head over there then.
Right, well, it's a bookshop you know at least, isn't it? So
Yeah. I'd probably turn to Jonan before, like, parting ways. Just say, I've got my own things to pick up. I'll meet you back here. I won't be long.
it could meet at the South Gate if you really wanted to. I mean, that's probably if you're
Yeah,
heading out
okay.
that way.
I'll change that then to I'll meet you at the South Gate. I won't be long.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, so you go off and yeah, you head in.
Mhm.
Yeah, the little bell rings above you. Place looks just as, I guess, maintained as it was before when you last was here. Back in the Lost Session 2 audio, and like you just see kind of sitting back and like not like one of those kind of tall chairs, but it's kind of like propped up against a bookshelf behind where it is, so it's just kind of like leaning back precariously, and there's just a elderly lady snoozing away with a knitting needle, just kind of resting across her kind of belly, and some half-finished knitting kind of hanging from her hand as it's slumped down at the side of the chair, and you can just hear like snoring.
Elphdara starts kind of quietly perusing the shelves looking for a suitable tome. When she finds it, she sort of extracts it from the shelf carefully and walks towards the counter. And kind of just says, "Bernadette."
And then as soon as you say that, like an eye opens, but just like one eye, kind of very kind of suspiciously opens. The grip on the knitting needle that's hanging by her side gets tighter. She lifts up her like half knitted sock, pulls it up onto her chest, kind of like tilts the chair forward and stands up, like almost with a small jump, as if the rocking of the chair standing back up properly kind of kicks her to the floor. And she's like, "Good to see you're not a thief." And just kind of prods you a little bit with the knit needle.
Elphdara kind of half smiles. She just says, I'd really like to buy this book, but right now I don't have money. It's a gift for someone."
She kind of just raises an eyebrow.
"It's a gift for Jonan."
She raises two eyebrows. She's out of eyebrows now. You're gonna have to do something different.
I can give you something for it, although I don't really have much to my name. Or I could come back when I have money and pay you back for it.
She kind of does that thing where like her lips are pursed a little, as if she's still kind of waiting on something that makes sense to her. You know that kind of, old lady pondering things over. And then she's kind of like, "You should come back when you have money, and then I can sell you the book."
Yeah, but it's an emergency.
She kind of has like a confused look on her face, yeah. And she puts her hand out for the book.
She just hands it over, I guess.
She looks at it and she's like, "This is the book on trees." Like,
Yeah.
what kind of emergency? Like, is there a forest in trouble?
No, but I think Jonan might be.
And
He.
she's like, "What? You're gonna plant a tree? And is it what?" It's a very ironic book you've picked as well. I mean, it's a book about trees made from a tree. Like, it's very. And she kind of shakes her head a bit dismissively as if she's thought too hard, and then she puts the book on the counter. What do you have?
She kind of probably takes something out of her adventuring gear.
Is it the sapphire?
No. I'm not trading Willie Williams for a fucking book.
That'd be ironic, wouldn't it? Though, because of.
Oh my god. No. Although I like to think maybe she takes the sapphire out while she's going through the bag. Not like putting it down, but like just briefly to move it out the way for something else.
I like that you do that, but she just doesn't really take notice. She's too busy waiting to see what you're willing to trade.
Yeah. She maybe places out some items. From maybe my adventuring gear on the table, like maybe some rope or I mean, any suggestions what I would have in my adventuring gear? Like maybe some candles.
I think what she meant by that, guys, was can you suggest something she could have in her adventuring gear that
Yeah.
she could barter for this book? She was outsourcing to you guys, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's a list. It's mundane
Well, it's-
items: chalk, poles, spikes, ropes.
Etc. is my favourite part of that list, though.
Huh.
I have plenty, etc. to give you.
Excessive, etc.
Well, I've got a potential for 5 different things I could have in here. So
A copy of the Gospel of Carlos. Stay silent.
yeah, I probably actually do have that. I probably take out the pamphlet as well and put it
A
in the
signed copy
What, by Carlos himself?
by Carlos himself. It was Willie's personal copy. It was a gift when you graduate.
Is that why you
You
were so
become a
gutted
man
when
of the
you
cloth.
died? You never saw him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I take that out and I put it on the desk and I was like, you could have this for it.
She scoffs, just very obviously. Like she's just tasted something super bitter.
Elphdara kind of.
Not even regular bitter. Super bitter.
Oh, I see you already have several on the shelf. My mistake.
Elphdara probably like kind of lets out a hat of laughter because she kind of did that on purpose.
I think maybe like you just see her like as she's still like kind of subconsciously knitting this sock with her hands as you're doing this. She
Mhm.
points with one of the knitting needles at the kind of like really overflowing like trash can in the corner. That's obviously got all these leaflets scrunched up and pouring out of it. That she's obviously picked out of books. And she just looks at you and raises that eyebrow again, as if do one better.
Yeah, Elphdara kind of just nods and goes, "Oh, okay." Puts that back in her bag. I have rope. I have candles. Is there anything you need?
Is that a threat?
Well, I mean, had Jonan came here with some rope and some candles, maybe the deal would be on. But wow, Tales of Triumph After Dark, it really hits. Okay, we're after 9, the watershed kicks. MD on YouTube, don't watch this until after 9.
Unless you're over a certain age. I
Yeah,
don't know what is the age?
65.
65, okay. None of us can rewatch this.
No.
That's the plan.
Back now.
That's when we hit 65 and go, oh damn it, it's unlocked content now. Anyway, smash that like button, guys, because I feel like we're at the appropriate moment for that. Again. Yeah, like, she's not really enamoured with what you're offering. Like, impress her, you know?
I'm not really. Oh, could I have knitting needles in my adventuring gear in case I need to poke something? But like nice, brand new, shiny ones.
I mean, this feels like this is going to be a whole quest where you have to go trade a piece of rope for something that you could trade someone else to get knitting needles to trade her for a book.
Unless I have like maybe like a ball of wool in there.
I mean, you'd probably have string. I don't see why you'd have wool, but you could definitely have string. Why don't you give her your spear or something? Something more interesting.
All right.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, do you see what I mean? Like a kind of
Um.
exciting thing.
All right. So after she's went through all her mundane items, she sort of puts everything back in her pack.
That weirdly remain obscure despite doing so.
Yeah. Apart from the rope and the candles, I definitely have those things. So once I put all the mundane things back in, including the pamphlet, I make sure sort of Willie is secured properly and not gonna fall out.
Just so bad. Let's all take a moment. Enjoy it just now. Let's just.
This is all your fault, Ross.
The toss-up between Willie and Wally. I think I made the right choice.
I think you made the right choice. Yeah. Also, India that cares. Quest 1, Parts 1, and 2/3.
Because of that choice, I have a Sapphire Willy in my inventory. Literally, that's what it says. No, so I put all that back, make sure Willie is safe. Which is its own wonderful sentence. And then I kind of take the spear off my back and hold it out to her and just say, "You could have this."
And then she looks at it and holds it, and you can see that there's obviously a bit of heft to it in her hands. And she's like, "Oh," and like she kind of adjusts her glasses that are just kind of sitting on her nose, and she's like, "You know, I did fancy myself as a warrior back in my day." And like she kind of like drags the bottom of it across the table, and knocks like the knitting onto the floor that she seems to have totally forgot about.
As she's doing that, Elphdara just says, I'm sure you would have made a fine warrior."
She's like, "Maybe I will. Maybe I will." You're obviously from the guild, yeah?
Yes.
She obviously like absentmindedly is staring at this thing now as opposed to talking to you, if you know what I mean. And she's kind of taking in the details of the experience. She's like, "How long have you been with the Adventuring Guild?"
Not too long. A few months.
And that kind of, you're telling your gran a story, but she's not really paying attention. She just knows you're there. Type motion as she's still staring and kind of enamored with the spring. She kind of like clanks it to the side of her. Obviously it's not a particularly, it's like a kind of short spear that you had, because it's a throwing spear thing. And she's like, "Here," and then she hands you like a bag, and she's like, "Pick a couple of books. I feel like this is you should read more." And then she kind of like pushes the tree book over to you, and then like hands you like a bag
Thank you, Bernadette.
that says obviously black books on it, of course.
Okay.
And essentially what that is it's a bag of books.
Woo!
Air quote.
No, Elphdara goes through some of the books on the shelf, and she
Like
adds,
as you're like in the foreground of the shot looking at obviously other like shelves and stuff, in the background you just see her like doing like kind of Spartan style stabs with this spear and making kind of like old lady trying to heft a spear around noises.
I feel like this was a mistake.
Oh, it's totally fine.
I feel bad for the next person who startles this woman when she is asleep.
Or at
It's
least
all I'm
pretending to be asleep to see if people steal from her.
No, so I kind of go through the shelves and pick out some of the more, not like stupidly easy to read books, but maybe books that Elphdara would recognise that are at Jonan's reading level, as she knew.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe she thinks he'd find interesting.
I fixed your inventory for you as well.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So yeah, and then I just fill up the bag of books.
Yeah, sure.
And then, as I move to leave, I just turn around and say, "Thank you, Bernadette. I hope you find a use for that spear."
Oh yes, I'm getting the hang of it, and you hear it drop, like behind the counter, and then she just kind of like looks that awkward way where she puts her hands, obviously, on the counter as if, well, that was just what I was doing the whole time, obviously. And she's like, maybe if you're not busy at some point, maybe you could come by and you know, give me some tips.
It would be my pleasure, Bernadette.
And she kind of giggles in that
hopefully
old
see you
lady way.
soon.
I don't know what that means, so don't ask me, please.
And so, as Elphdara is leaving the shop, like, when Bernadette can't see your face, Elphdara just makes this, like, screwed up face expression of, "Oh, I might have made a mistake," and just leaves.
What, the Arrested Development? I've made a terrible mistake.
But, like, obviously when Bernadette can't see her, she's just kind of sweetly smiled at Bernadette, like, this is fine.
Everything's fine.
It's all fine.
Um,
We're all fine here.
How does one
How are
unfull
you?
screen from Chrome? Does anyone know?
F11?
It was F11, thank you.
This is why he's precious.
Yes.
Um,
I'm sure there's other reasons, but that's the current reason for this very
That's
moment.
the current reason, yes.
Yes. The public reason, you know. Yeah, so you leave Black Books, you've made a terrible mistake, you've left an old woman in a shop with a spear. Like, be fine.
it'll work out. Yeah. So, yeah, I just sort of make my way towards the south gate. And I stole the bag of books, like, away, maybe in a backpack or something, so it's not obvious that I have a pack of books.
With a big sign on it saying Black Books. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Right, Jonan, you're off buying things. What are you off buying?
He's just looking for some clean white linen for use as bandages.
Okie that is, let me quickly go to the thing. How much do they cost? They don't cost that much. They were... Bandages are what, 5 coins? For 3 uses? Yup. Yeah, you can add that in. Easy. Easy peasy.
No problem.
Like, I imagine most places would sell things to bandage things, so... Yeah. Right. What about Booker and Saul?
I would have probably just headed straight to the south gate, to be honest.
Yeah, you just waiting at the
Just
gate for them
stood there, standing there trying to look as impressive as possible.
Oh my god.
Hashtag precious. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. What about Booker? Is Booker followed with what do you call it? Is Ross away for the moment?
Yes, I guess I would just have followed.
No, that's fine. Now I'll just go back to you, John. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
No, that was it. I just wanted to grab some fresh linen, and then I would go to the meeting point.
Good. Good. So yeah, maybe you walk up and, like, there's no Booker, in fact. It's actually, you just see Saul in the distance, standing out like a sore thumb. So, you approach Saul.
Hey,
Aha! Well, I didn't see you there.
Are you from the West Country now, or?
No, I had, like... No, I'm not
Yeah.
even going to mention
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
It's fine.
Mm.
well, you better keep a better eye out when we are out in the forest. You don't want anything or anyone sneaking up on you out there. I picked up the bandages.
Ah, excellent. We can't have you getting injured now.
Yeah.
Excellent. Sorry, I got totally distracted there for a second.
Yeah, I like this kind of almost kind of pseudo awkward macho type picture that we're getting here, where it's kind of like scruffy buff man versus kind of really really shiny brand new buff man, and it's I like the contrast there of I've been out in the world and things have gone horribly wrong and I've watched people like old friends die. On the flip side, we've got I'm the strongest paladin and everything's great. How great are you? You look a bit
I don't
dirty.
even know if I can survive outside the city.
Outside?
Of course
No,
I
no, no,
do.
no, no,
I
no.
go to the gym every day. Therefore, I am the strongest.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think maybe at this point then maybe Elphdara approaches then. While we're buying Booker some time.
Yeah, so Elphdara kind of wanders up to them and just says, well, I got what I went to get. How are you guys?
Grand.
Did you
If
get
you're...
everything?
Yeah, it seems fairly clean linen. It looks like it hasn't been used before, so if you are finished your preparations, we should make ready to leave. We don't want to lose too much of the daylight.
If we pause there for a second. Now Booker, what were you up to? Like Jonan went shopping for the bandages, Elphdara went shopping for a book,
Booker...
and Saul-Tana just headed straight for the south gate.
Booker was just chilling and applying golden root poison to one of his daggers.
I see. Okay. Sure.
I'm assuming that's like indefinite until I use it.
What does it say?
It doesn't really say.
I mean, I guess it's just arbitrary then, really, isn't it? Let me
Just it needs to be applied to something. So
2 seconds. I will. Dangerous. Apply. I'm gonna assume that's the one you picked, right? Just
yeah.
Raw assumption here. Golden root. Dangerous. Applied. Blah blah blah.
I like the idea of you stabbing someone and you're like, surprise! Now you're my friend.
Yeah, right.
That's how it works.
See, I like to believe it's more like you kind of just cut them enough for it to get into their blood, because I feel like that's less than you stab someone and then they're your friend.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
It sounds like it should be given when in like a good massage or something, like a foot rub.
Careful now. This is erotic enough, this session. So, yeah. Yeah, you kind of applied that. Like, I mean, are you just doing this in the middle of the street where you pull a dagger out and just start pouring liquids on it? As a small person wrapped in kind of shady, really unobvious
Nah,
clothing?
I think I'd say I'd break away from. I'm assuming Saul is still just standing.
Saul wandered
No?
off towards the south gate.
I'm alone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll just briefly
Alone
dip
from the
into
party,
a sort of
yes.
alley. I'll just dip into an alley for a minute or so.
Yeah, you can Diplodocus into an alley.
Yep.
Sure. Did you take it the dagger and short sword?
I took a dagger. I took 3 throwing daggers and
Well,
throwing knives, right?
The top option is a dagger and short sword, or a rapier, or both, I guess.
And then I took a rapier and then 3 throwing.
Okay, so a fancy
dagger.
halfling. Rapiers in my head make you fancy, so
Well, it's precise. That's why I wanted it.
yeah.
I'm
don't
so
blame me.
fancy.
Okay.
Oh crap! I forgot to add my leather armor. I was like, I have no armor.
Did you take the adventuring gear or the healing potion?
Adventuring gear.
Good man.
Your third mistake.
Nah, I mean, yeah, I did.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Cool. It's just so I can keep up to date with this stuff. Yeah, okay, yeah, these are all assembled, because I'm assuming you're just kind of like, maybe you'd look down, you duck into the alleyway, and then after applying it, you sheath your blade, and then you kind of wander back out, kind of in that weird whistling, slow, wide-footed kind of
Yep.
Where did they go? And then you go, well, Saul-Tana's probably just went straight to the south gate, so
Yeah.
I'll just go look in there. So yeah.
Indeed.
So yeah, Jonan and Elphdara have their moment of talking, and then downtrod this little halfling, looking completely non-suspicious.
Indeed.
His voice got lower, much like his height.
Indeed.
But yeah, so he's at the south gate. What next? What's the haps?
We leaving yet?
Let us away! Take a step out the south gate.
Alright, comes up saying you must gather your party before venturing forth.
Yeah, we're all going.
You must gather
I
your
am.
party before venturing forth. But the wizard's going to kill me.
The guard's just like, be careful out there, adventurers. There are dangerous bandits in the forest. A couple of times.
Or the two of them were talking, did you hear about those bandit attacks in the forests? Just generic background fluff for the
I'm like,
audience.
I'm like,
Have they been seen recently near the wall?
and he's like, be careful, adventurers. There are bandits in the forest.
And you're like, boring conversation anyway. And wander off. Yeah, okay, yeah. So you head to the south forest. Luckily, it's actually the last thing I put in maps on Discord.
In the name of the Jarl, stop.
And that's when you just
Booker
go,
has many
"Oh."
stolen goods on him and he's now in jail.
Yeah. How many years jail did you get?
Okay, don't matter.
1/4 year.
1 quarter year.
1/4 portion. I know. It was a bad on me. Yeah, okay, cool. What's happening next? What he's up to? He's outside now. He's at the south gate. He's south of the south gate.
Jonan, you look like the sort of person. Do you have any pipe leaf?
Not on me, no. The guards can smell it. Let me get back to the guild.
Just seems weird that me as a halfling wouldn't have any, you know?
You made your choices, man.
There's no option!
Yeah, I wonder why that is. 'Cause they're halflings. It's just called pipe leaf.
Well then, lead the way, Saul. Time to swing.
I lead the way towards the general direction of where I assume we're supposed to go, and
I mean, you can do that.
confidently as well.
Of course.
This
Right.
way!
Striding into the wilderness.
Strider.
Strider! Strider!
Oh god, we're all
Mr. Strider!
Mr. Strider!
Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
Oh, please, Mr. Gandalf, don't turn me into anything unnatural.
But what about the second breakfast?
Come along, Samwise. And then it's just a picture of a horse. Or a pony, I guess, because it was Bill.
Fool of a took.
Okay.
I mean not to.
Wow, we're really not getting money this session. All of the
Other
infringements.
fantasy trilogies are available.
Soon we'll be having to trade for things in our daily lives with spears. Because we're making no money.
Yup.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. Ring that bell. Nick
Next time on Spear Economy.
gotta spearhead that economy.
Invest.
Arm your librarians. So, Yeah, these are south of the forest. Or these are in the south forest, I should say, south of the city. These are like here. Bip.
They see us strolling, adventuring. Oh,
And
they
bailing.
see us doing our duty.
I think
We're on a
after,
quest. We're on a quest.
Database.
I think after a little while out of the city limits, Elphdara probably calls Thorn down just to see how he's doing.
Okay, who gets a fright when Thorn lands?
I get a hell of a fright.
He is pretty frightening.
Okay.
What on God's earth? Tana, save me! Oh, what is that?
This is Thorn. He won't hurt you. Unless I tell him to, but I won't tell him to. So you're fine.
You're
Yeah,
strange,
you could have
Elphdara.
warned me. You should have warned me. My reflexes could have taken that bird from the sky.
I doubt it. And then she just starts having like a wee conversation to Thorn.
What do you say?
Just, how's the weather up there?
It replies blowy.
I'd imagine so.
That's a frightening bird you've got there. Were you talking to it earlier when you were talking to yourself?
Are you talking to Thorn? Or are you talking
Elphdara.
to Elphdara?
To Elphdara.
Thorn's my best friend.
Oh, harsh, bro.
Wow.
And then
Ah,
she
yeah,
just
fuck
goes-
Pretty
you too,
lonely
Jonan.
she
existence.
goes back to talking to Thorn. And just says, is there anything you need?
Okay.
Ah!
Kind of just looks at you and then does that kind of bird head tilt thing and then just like kicks off and just kind of flies in circles above you.
Elphdara just kind of smiles fondly up at him and continues walking.
Thorn pecks out your eye and flies away.
He's my best buddy, he would never do that.
I'd be needing your eye.
Oh, I'm gonna get that arm.
Y'all got any grain?
I like to
Okay.
think that the hawk just circles above us waiting for us to be filled.
I mean, it's to Elphdara, she just sees that as a economic use of resource.
He's an what was it, an oracle amongst his people.
The glint of the sapphire within catches the hawk, catches the eye.
Oh yeah, it's waiting for payday, that's all.
Yeah.
It's actually been a druid this whole time. But his one druid move was to betray Elphdara and it hasn't quite brung itself to do that yet, so it's always going to be in until it spends its hold.
Dare you make up these terrible non-canon head canons about my best bud?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so obviously we'll put all that in the maybe to be confirmed later box, and we'll be in the southern forest, where the music shifts from city bustle to slightly but not quite eerie.
So Elphdara, you're a person who lives in the trees. Do you know where we're going?
I know where the lake is. I've never been to it. Well,
Off
I've
you
never
pop.
been close to it.
What was that reply, Ross?
Off you pop.
Elphdara rolls her eyes.
They do scream.
They scream.
Oh, my screen went blue when you said that.
Oh.
I'm not happy about that.
It's not ideal now.
And Booker hops along towards Saul-Tana swing.
Okay.
I don't think Saul-Tana swing notices. He just keeps walking, trudging along.
What do you think of this lot, Saul-Tana swing?
That elf one is quite weird, if you ask me. Like trying to say that like really
Did
quietly,
he
but
age
obviously
and
not.
become a wizard?
Oh, enchanter.
Yeah, like visions of bluster appear.
Is that you, Blaster?
I'm lost. Oh dear.
Oh dear. I've forgotten Saul-Tana's voice.
Think self-righteous, but
Like this!
like naive.
Aha! There we go.
Like Flashheart, you know?
Ah,
Woof!
Yes. So yeah, he tries to say, ooh, gee.
Oh, Flashheart
tries
as a
to say
druid in
that,
this would be great.
Quietly, but obviously not quietly at all.
Like Homer Simpson trying to speak quietly.
Yeah.
um,
She's really weird.
Shouts to others.
Yeah, she talks to herself and has a really scary hawk.
Yes.
I believe you are right next to her
Yes.
as you are having this conversation. Like,
Yeah.
right next to her.
Elphdara can hear all of this, and she's just choosing to ignore it, not engage. She's got bigger things to worry about,
Bigger fish to fry.
Yes.
like finding a cleric at level 3.
At least level 3.
Well, the crow turn around. You gonna lead the way or not? To Elphdara.
Elphdara just shrugs, like, and carries on walking towards where the lake is. Where's Jonan in relation to us? Is he like behind or in front?
I poison Elphdara.
He's just keeping to the edge of the trail. He seems to have his eyes constantly on the forests.
I cast Waking Nightmare.
One day you will cast Waking Nightmare.
I can't.
None of us will laugh.
I'll probably not laugh because I'll probably end up. That's the one I'll botch, isn't it? I will be a Waking
Yeah, it'll
Nightmare.
turn you into an abomination and kill all of your friends and yourself in the process.
All of my friends. So me and Dutel so far. All of them.
Oh dear.
I'm sure you have friends back in the
Probably not.
Winter Imperium.
Like people that they say they're your friends, but you know when it comes down to it, you know.
Okay, Quadrus.
Oh yeah, there we go. But he is my friend. He's my buddy.
He sees you. He sees you as a friend.
Yeah, but it's not his friends that die.
Hey
So
man,
am I.
you're his only friend. How dare you?
That's fine. But I don't want him to die, so I can't be his friend. Obviously now by the rules you put in.
Ah, okay.
But anyway, let's not cross the games.
Booker puts his hand in his pocket and takes out some cards and casts Exodia, the Forbidden One.
We all automatically lose.
No, you're banished to the Shadow Realm automatically.
Just Booker and Mokuba, like
No, it's
hanging
just,
out in the
Joey
Shadow
Wheeler
Realm.
that's there.
Real monsters.
In his place, I mean in Booker's place, so you're now playing Joey Wheeler.
Joey Wheeler.
So just write off another character.
Put Joey Wheeler on the character.
Ah, we're
archive.
really not monetizing this one at all, are we?
I digress. I digress.
Yes,
I
anyway.
Blah, blah, blah. Rewind.
Right, we're back.
Are you gonna lead the way or not, Elphdara?
I don't think I ever agreed to lead the way.
We know where
I
the lake
feel
is.
like
Away, away.
Saul-Tana here. I think he said that he would lead the way.
Oh,
at
he
least
can do
implied
anything.
it.
The experience will do you good, and I slap Elphdara on the back.
Quiet.
Slaps back. This baby will find any lake.
I can hear something.
Okay,
No, it's nothing.
I like this paranoid Jonan.
Elphdara kind of stops, turns back to Jonan, approaches him and puts her hand kind of gently on his strong, hard bicep.
It's like a pirate had sex with an angel.
Pretty much. That's Jonan.
Do you need something?
Jonan, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just keeping wary for ambush. I don't want anyone sneaking up on us.
I suppose that makes sense, but I'll probably know if someone's coming. And Thorn, and she kind of gestures above her head vaguely.
You hear like the appropriate like hawk screech at the exact, good timing.
He'll keep us right. He can see a lot more than we can.
What's Jonan doing?
He's just
He says, "Do you know if it is much further?"
I don't think it's that far away from the city walls. We should keep moving. And try not to worry so much.
Like at best, it's like a rations travel. Like it's like that's it, really. Remember, this is not to scale. Those are not tiny planted trees.
Do not worry. If we are attacked, I have your back.
I have your back too, Jonan.
It is our front that I am worried about.
and I'll like look up at the paladin and like the elf just happily like loudly talking as they have like an enjoyable and rather loud stroll through the forest. Like, isn't this grand?
Jonan, we've got out of trouble before. Maybe not all in one piece, but I trust us. I trust you.
Perhaps that trust is misplaced. We will see.
Harp music, please.
Flicks away the sweat you hear from his
Oh yeah,
from his eyes.
sweaty hair from his eyes. Yeah, it's just hair sweat, honest. It's just hair sweat. Harp music stops abruptly. This
Inside
bloody
his head,
would
it's
be,
just like,
honestly.
Never meant to be so cold.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay, yeah. So you group up and decide who's doing what. Let's undertake a perilous journey.
Oh no. This
Dun,
is where it all
dun,
went wrong last
dun.
time.
Yeah. So, you know how to do this. Talk me through it, guys.
Give me a second, I'm scrolling.
Calum, you should read it out. That's probably because you're the new one. Excuse me.
My toe. Right, wait, what are we doing? I don't know what you
These are
said.
undertaking a perilous journey.
Oh, a perilous journey. Okay. Hold on.
Oh, perilous journey! That I know well.
I mean, I'm definitely taking a job here, because
She says absently to
Mind
the
it now.
forest.
you should probably send it to Willie.
I don't think there's any reply.
I need to find it.
So it's in special
Second
moves.
page
Yeah.
of the
Special
PDF.
moves.
Paggy 2.
Is it Peggy 2? Or is it Peggy?
Peggy 2.
Peggy 2.
We don't own that.
That wasn't even.
I mean, I say it like we're like a
No, I
super
actually
big
can't see it.
corporation.
Anywhere. Am I just blind?
Maybe.
It's underneath Take Watch.
And not like a thief move. Take watch.
Take it. It's a Rolex.
Undertake a perilous journey. Okay.
Yay.
Oh, that was hard. When you travel through hostile territory, choose one member of the party to act as a trailblazer, one to scout ahead, and one to be quartermaster. The same character cannot have two jobs. If you don't have enough party members or choose not to assign a job, treat that job as if it had rolled a 6. Each character with a job to do rolls plus wisdom on a plus 10. The quartermaster reduces the number of rations required by 1. On Brian. On a 10 plus, The Trailblazer reduces the amount of time it would take to reach your destination. The GM will say how much. On a 10 plus, the scout will spot any trouble quick enough to let you get the drop in on it. On a 7-9, each roll performs their job as expected. The normal number of rations are consumed. The journey takes about as long as expected. No one gets the drop on you, but you don't get the drop on them either. Blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
I added that here.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to take a job because my race elf, as a ranger, allows me to, or I'll just read it out. When you undertake a perilous journey through wilderness, whatever job you take, you succeed as if you have rolled a 10 plus. So, I'm taking a job because that's an auto succeed on.
Yeah, that makes.
So I'll let the other two pick kind of what they want to do, or the other three, I guess, deliberate on what
Who wants to do
what
what?
task they want to do.
Are you able to aid or help these rolls?
Probably not. No, I feel like. I mean, it depends, right? Let's just say yes for now, because that's probably more interesting, right? So, what do you want to aid with?
Well, I'm guessing Elphdara is going to be Trailblazer or Scout Head, so and hers is automatic. So whoever takes, I mean,
This feels
I'll-
very
I'll,
meta, though. This part.
I guess I would be scouting. I guess just from what he's doing naturally in the game, he'd be looking for danger.
Mhm.
So I guess I'll just scout. That's fine.
Elphdara is probably going to trailblaze in.
Okay, yeah. And who's going to be quartermaster? Is it going to be Booker or is it going to be Saul?
I can't see Saul doing any job, right?
No.
Wow.
So Booker is a dab hand at cooking and such, so he'll be the quartermaster.
Okay.
I'd like to think Saul-Tana thinks he's doing a job.
Yeah.
Oh, good day.
But not contributing whatsoever.
Scouting is.
That one.
Trailblazer, obviously. Do you want to just write in what you got? Or, I think, can you click on the fact that you're an elf? Is that a thing you can click on?
Nah. It's not.
Damn, that'd have been good.
Yeah, Mark XP.
Indeed. When failing, mark the XP. I don't know if you got that, Haley, but yeah.
Let's see. I mean, on a 10 plus, I reduced the amount of time it takes to get there. So at least I did something.
Okay.
Booker gonna roll.
Yes.
Excellent. Oh well.
Yep.
Well.
Booker was obviously too busy making fun of Saul to have really done this very well.
Oh, these utensils are too big for me hands!
We're like, why are you stealing her stuff? Give us her stuff back.
Why can't I carry all these rations?
What you got?
It's not my fault.
Oh, it so is.
I need halfling-sized forks.
Oh. So, let's see what happens. Right, so use 2 failed. And, okay, so number of rations required is reduced by 1. That's good. Now, the thing that's really vague here, it says here that reduces the number of rations required by 1. I'm assuming that means 1. out of the collective, not reduces it by number of players. Because it seems to imply that by exactly how it's written. You know? Because I think I did that wrong last time, from what I've read since. So, whoever wants to have attempted to save that, but doesn't the quartermaster kind of mess this up? Sorry, that's quartermaster reduced at Trailblazer time, which is... that's in fact completely irrelevant, that's fine. Quartermaster means it takes more. Let's see. So what's that, 2 rations each from everybody, I guess?
Oh.
If the quartermaster
Okay.
fails. That's right, isn't it? Yeah.
I assume so.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's say that. So you just need to expend 8 rations because halflings don't know how to cook for tall people. Obviously. And I think maybe because of this, that's meant Elphdara's actually had to actually just be on point. Also, when you say Hawk, go forward, find a big body of water, come back, tell me it, that's probably going to be quite easy. As well. And... yeah. So I think we know what's going to happen. So as you set off from the ridiculously, you know. Also, can Booker mark XP? Oh, good. You've done it. You're a good man. How good is that? Yeah, Calum, I don't know if we've reminded you or not, but obviously when you do it, like when you fail a roll, you get to mark XP. And generally I get people to write that they've marked the XP and then actually put it on their character sheet there and then, so we don't have to tally up at the end that way.
Okay.
Right, so what else have we got? Yeah, so you're obviously likely to walk into some kind of ambush because, you know, that's just how scouts roll, apparently. But yeah, so Jonan's leading ahead. Obviously, in general, Elphdara's trying to keep everyone, you know, together, and clearly Booker and Saul-Tana are arguing in the back as they go. Yet somehow Elphdara's managed to keep them on point. Maybe because every now and then she gets Thorn to round them up, like some kind of sheepdog, because of how scary Thorn is.
I like that.
Like, probably not so much for Jonan. She's probably keeping it like a specific eye on Jonan.
Jonan's away ahead anyway, scouting.
Yeah.
So what you're mostly doing is telling Thorn to just hide in branches, and when they walk past and slow down, he just goes caw, and then scares the shit out of them.
Especially the camouflage.
Yeah, because blends in, which I quite like. But yeah, I think because yous are all kind of distracted, trying to like keep them up, because obviously you're trying to keep them at a good pace, hence why you've made quite good time, because you did your job very well. But yeah, so I think Jonan, defy me some danger, please. There is an arrow. A flaming arrow.
But my reflexes are too quick. I will dodge it.
I will dodge it. Jonan the Destroyer. Used to be Jonan the Barbarian. Ooh. Right, so what are you picking? You know the rules.
Let's see. Hesitate. I've not quite come.
You always stop
out
at
of my
those options,
headspace.
right?
Oh right. Oh yeah. Hard bargain.
Okay, yeah, hard bargain.
Hard bargain.
As you notice the arrow flying towards you, it's on fire. You have noticed this. Like you hear the whistling of the arrow first, and that's what made you go, oh, an arrow, because I've seen lots of these fly at me before. And then, as you spot it, it bursts into fire, like into flames, I guess, as it flies towards you. Your hard bargain is that you can obviously get out of the way, or take it like a man, and or woman, or it's going to go right in the middle of the other three, who aren't really paying attention at this particular point in time.
I guess I'll take the arrow.
Such a champ.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. What I would like you to do for me is roll. I'll type all that first. And then let me find the thing that I had 2 seconds ago. Right, first things first, do a... bear with me while I find the thing. Do a d6 of normal damage. And then, obviously, your armor's going to soak that anyway, isn't it? So that's fine. Now do a d6 of fire damage, and type fire damage for this one. This one's going to ignore your armor.
Ow! We're under attack!
So like, as like the arm, like sorry, the arrow hits you, obviously like it kind of like plinks off your armor and I guess just your hide, because Jonan. But like, as it hits you, you see all the runes that seemed to have been causing the flame on the tip of the arrow, just almost like spread over you as if they were made of like liquid, and all these kind of magical runes, like all burst into flames as they're on you, and that's what causes the damage. And then yeah, you can shout, "We're under attack." What is what did others do?
Elphdara draws her bow.
You don't have any paper.
Yes. She draws it on the ground.
Okay.
No, she gets her bow out. Kind of gets an arrow ready.
Mm.
And then shouts over to Jonan.
Who's on fire?
Yeah.
Looks hotter than ever, you could say.
God.
Carlos?
No. So, I'm really torn about what to say here, because I kind of want to shout stop, drop, and roll.
Say it if you want.
Alright, so Elphdara just goes, Jonan, stop, drop, and roll!
I mean, do you want to maybe aid Jonan? And then maybe Jonan could do a
Yeah.
defy danger by rolling on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, do you really want to do it, or does Jonan just want to stand and be on fire and ignore her?
Alright, is he lit? Like, I thought it was just kind of like,
Yeah,
Just let them.
haha.
No, like
I was-
the arrow hit you, and then the runes that were carved into the head of the arrow seemed to like splash onto you as soon as the arrow like plinked off your armor, and they all
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
they all like weirdly spread across your your chest, and then they all burst into flames. It was very visually cool.
Yeah, I'll take her advice. So I'll do a cool combat roll onto the ground before like continuing the roll.
Okay. Okay, so Elphdara, you've caused Jonan to start rolling around the ground. Can you roll your aid first, please, Elphdara?
Sure. Just give me a second.
Remember, right aid.
As opposed to hinder or interfere, I think it's called, isn't it? I was lying! It's a terrible thing! You're lying in oil! It's a -2.
Roll plus bond with them. On a 10 plus. What am I rolling?
What does it say?
Roll plus bond.
How many bonds do you have with
2.
Jonan?
Does it matter what I roll?
It's roll +2. That's just roll.
So like a d20?
No, 2d6.
What?
This system is a 2d6 system.
Oh, okay.
So it's the roll
I
plus
don't know.
your bonds,
Alright, okay. So it's just 2d6 plus 2.
because that's how many bonds you have with Jonan. If you had no bonds with Jonan, it would just be 2d6. It's how likely they are to listen to you. In that sense, you know?
2d6 plus.
Or whatever the narrative circumstances call for.
Ah,
Yeah, that's not great.
I know, but I didn't write either what I was doing.
No, you didn't.
Give me a second, I'll put that in.
Good job.
No, it works both ways. Like, you just get to benefit from it if it, you know. I'm willing to stick by my rule. Type what you
Okay.
do, and then you send the results. I just don't want 40 tests, and then type in what you do. Like, right, we've got rid of all the bad rolls, obviously.
So /r space 2d6.
This one just throws oil on you.
It's when I roll a 2. Oh, that's better.
That's much better. Now, what does a 9 do on that?
9. With a 10
Ho-ho.
plus, they take +1 or 2, and a 7 to 9, you expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost. So I'm probably taking an arrow here.
You going for danger?
I mean, I'm willing to roll to defy danger.
No. What happens is you go in and try to put out the flames as Jonan's rolling around the ground, like Homer Simpson. And then you start patting to get rid of the flames. And then that way you get to, you know, roll a d6.
What, for damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Burny damage.
1d6. And I take 6, because
Dear
of
God.
course I do.
Now let's pause that there. Do you want to defy danger, Jonan?
Oh, holy shit, am I on fire?
And I'll describe this once we find out what happens to you. Please roll well. You're due to roll well.
I take it that's not menace armor, because my armor's on fire.
Yeah, like it ignores armor.
I guess I'm using Dex because it's
You're rolling about the ground.
acting
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Um,
You can Dex this.
Was that a success to aid me or not?
It
It
was.
was
You get a +1.
success
Yeah.
to aid.
You get a
Okay, so
+1.
+1 forward.
Yup.
I think that should put it on.
In theory, yes.
Yeah, I think it has.
I love the idea that as she starts patting you, you should just roll away. 'Cause she
Just
is.
roll down the path,
She
like
is now the
away from the danger.
I'm just going to test roll to see if that one worked.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it is. It's in one of the
Yeah.
brackets.
Yeah, that's a pretty damn good defy danger. And thank God, these were due one, right? These were due one.
I think we're doing more than one right.
Yeah, I know. I think I owe you like just some free passes at some point, especially for Ross.
I feel like next time we go into the woods and we fail, we should be ambushed.
Maybe you should try ambushing next time. Just saying. And be the bandits you were meant to be. Ambush those bards. Oh, we've lost someone. Oh, they're back. I think it's just my Roll20 refreshing. Right, okay, yeah, so the way this looks is Elphdara like says stop, drop and roll. Jonan just probably without thinking, again, you can dress this up as you like, kind of drops to the ground, starts rolling about. Elphdara runs to him, starts patting down, and as soon as your hand touches one of the runes that's causing the fire, that rune like moves onto you and then bursts into flames, and that's what causes you. Because some of the runes have moved onto you, obviously there's less on Jonan, and Jonan rolls and they'll go out.
Okay, I'm gonna roll now.
Yep, just
Up there, just stops, drops, and rolls. Takes her own advice.
yeah, and you can put the flames out as well. Don't need you to roll for that. You can just do that. That's
Okay.
fine. You've already taken your licks, as it were, by taking 6 damage, which is horrible. You're meant to roll well sometimes, right? That's what happens when you got rid of that bad roll above.
Yeah, I was paying the price.
It's so mad that the 2d6 plus 2 gets you a 5, but then a d6 gets you 6. That's just mad dice. Yeah, so we now have Saul-Tana and Booker just having watched Jonan burst into flames without really any understanding why, and then rolling around the ground, and then Elphdara bursting into flames and rolling around the ground.
Saul-Tana would like to rush in and run towards wherever the arrow came from.
You
This would be so much better if they would just run away.
you don't know there was an arrow. You just seen Jonan
okay.
like burst
I
into
just
flames.
burst into flames.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I run to their to I guess, well, if Jonan's kind of rolled away a wee bit, I'll run to whoever's
Sarah has also rolled away.
They're now cozied up together, slightly singy.
Okay, I run up to both of them to survey who's worse looking.
Definitely Elphdara. I don't
Okay,
think I'm wrong in saying this. I think Elphdara is probably worse off.
Okay, I would like to go up and lay my hands on Elphdara and
Oh my.
let her feel the glory of Tana flow through her.
Oh, the choices
You know,
have been called after your god.
this whole Tana thing is worse because I don't know if any of you have read about TanaCon.
No, I've heard of it, but that is all.
Like having someone say the glory of Tana is not good.
Like,
right
I know
now.
nothing beyond the name, though. Nothing beyond the name.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it, so.
Okay, I'll explain
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, we'll do it off recording.
So
Those
yeah,
of you
I'm going to
who
attempt
listened,
to-
ignore that.
Yeah, so I'm going to attempt to heal Elphdara.
Yeah, okay. Do you wanna roll, please?
Yeah. Oh, is there like a button? 'Cause I
There
think I did
is,
it
but
earlier.
in fact, to be fair, like, I guess if it's moves, they're relatively self-explanatory, right? But healing Elphdara isn't the worst thing to type at this point. It's just if they're generic moves, I'd prefer be labelled what they were for.
You should probably click like what is it? Cast the spell first.
No, it's literally lay on
No.
hands,
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I just press it.
and it rolls.
I
for you.
am healed.
Oh no!
So you take what, 6?
I take
Or
6.
does he
No.
go on fire too?
It's the burns he takes, not the fire. It's your burns.
I take your burns.
So like the visual here is obviously like puts his hands over you, like kind of obviously needs to technically touch skin to skin. It says praise for
Yeah.
their well-being. So I can't wait to hear you say something, and
Touch my face.
and then
Just say
Yeah.
and then
Right.
the
Just
vi-
put my...
but I love the visual of obviously these burns crawling up the skin, not in your skin. These wounds will not heal. And then all the burns like just take place where they would have been on Elphdara, but they go over Saul-Tana. Is there light? Is there like how does this look? Can you describe it to us, Cam?
Yeah, so when he runs over, he puts his like extremely manly hand over her face and raises one hand with a finger pointed to the sky, going, "By the power of Tana, I heal thee!" And it's like a really underwhelming like little glow that just appears at the top of his finger for like a split second. It goes woo,
Wow.
and like it's that sort of like the grind around
Clara, you're breathing heavily.
around him and Claire.
Sorry.
Sort of raises slightly, and then like like little rocks raise for like a second and then drop, and then, as you said, the burns kind of like crawl up through his fingers,
Nice.
up through his arm, up into wherever the burns were on Elphdara, onto him.
Mostly most places.
So everywhere.
All over.
I'd say like most of the
Um,
exposed areas, breasts.
Yeah.
Yes, very exposed breasts.
The
Elf
only-
boobs.
And he grimaces.
And says, "Ah, my elf boobs."
What is your health
Ah.
total, like Calum? In
My
general?
my elf total.
Oh, 1.
My health total was 23.
Is that total
Yes.
or max?
Oh, max. It was 23.
Okay, and your total now
That's
is
my max. Minus 6, I assume.
yes,
So that'll be what?
17.
17?
Am I healing for the full 6?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, so I think you deal. Was it 1d8? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah,
I
you heal.
do
So
one-
roll. Who wants to roll the healing?
I think she should roll her own healing.
Yeah. Okay. Roll a
So
d8.
it's like what'd you call it? Back when I used to be a healer in 13th Age.
Yeah. Back when I used to be a healer in 13 Age, like the good old days.
Aye, good old days
When Rana was still alive.
when Rana was still alive.
Sorry,
When
Clark, you're
you-
not dead. You're apotheosized.
You're just somebody else now.
And deified.
1d8,
Apotheosized.
did you say?
Fuck. Yeah, 1d8. Just type Helan. And then 1d8. It's just like you're shouting Helen.
Helen! Who's somebody else from a game.
Oh god. Roll your d8.
Although that was not 14.
Oh my god.
Three.
Yeah.
That's
So
better
you
now.
heal some. You feel better. Yeah.
Just a bit. Just
But
a
you
wee.
you probably see like these like the burns like go up into Saul-Tana, and you see like his face become scarred and burned.
Elphdara would probably just kind of sit up from where she was lying in the roll
Mm.
and say, thank you, but that looks like it hurt you instead.
Saul-Tana just like he first of all looks extremely pained, but then kind of just like puts on like his brave face and goes, "Ha ha! Nonsense! For I am the strongest." And he tries to stand up, falls down the first time, and then like pulls himself up on his halberd and stands up in like a attempt at a heroic pose.
Mm.
And
Right.
Elphdara's just like, right. And then she stands up as well and starts sort of looking around to see if she can see the source of the fire.
Okay, it just seems like the like where Jonan was about to kind of go into. That's obviously like seems to be the direction in which the attack came from. What's Jonan doing besides rolling away, or what's Booker doing in all this? Two people have actually burned, and a third looks burnt.
Booker just dives and does a combat roll to take out the tree.
Dear God, you sound like you're under war.
Yeah, submarine again.
Mm. That was for you, Ross. All for you. Have we lost him?
They might be trying to fix it.
Maybe.
Probably.
'Tis a previous issue.
Is that better?
Nope.
No. Not really. That's okay. We can resolve that later. What was Booker trying to do, sorry?
I think Ross is just fixing his.
What was Jonan trying to do then?
Booker combat rolls behind the tree.
Okay, yeah. Are you wanting to defend?
I'm going to try and hide
I see.
as I'm small.
Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, currently there's nothing to hide against as far as you're concerned, other than whatever burnt the
Well,
other two.
I see fire and people are diving, so I did the same.
Cool, I like it. When in Rome, you know. Cool. Jonan?
I'll get up off the ground. And as I look around for the source of the arrows, I'll brush off the dust and the ash clinging to me, and I'll clench my fists. And can I see anyone?
Are you heading back into the way you were going?
So I guess the way I imagined that, I took a flaming arrow and then Elphdara ran forwards and shouting to roll on the ground, and I just kind of dropped where I was, rolling around in the dirt. Not too far from like where I was scouting ahead.
Okay. Well, what to do for me is head on through when you go. See what happens.
So Did it come from the forest further down the path?
It mostly like as you were heading through all the kind of trees and stuff towards the lake. Let's say maybe you are kind of like roughly in like this area, in about there. Then it came from like not far in front of you. But it was one of those, you just heard the whistling through the trees, and by the time you spotted it, the fire would have caught your eyes.
Yeah.
So you have like a rough heading, but that's about it. But like as you kind of like edge forward through the trees and like hug the trees, because you know roughly the direction, so you know that if you have your back against this tree, it's unlikely whatever it had will have a clear shot at you. You don't really see anything. Like there's, like you can kind of like stop, listen, etc., etc. But yeah, there's not much.
Okay. So not being able to see where anything's coming from, I will move to the party and take up like a defensive posture.
Okay. As an attempt to defend?
Yeah.
Okay. Type me up and roll me. He seems to say, with his eyes. And we shall see. Nice. Now we're rolling with Jonan.
So let's see, I hold 3 and I'm standing in defense. Whenever the thing you defend is attacked, is the party okay to say as a thing, or should I choose a individual?
I mean, it says a person, an item, or location. I'd say like if it's, you can't pick the party. The location is too vague, I'd say, because it's not like you're defending a castle wall, you know?
Okay. I guess I'll just choose Elphdara then. And hold 3. And then I spend the whole.
So yeah, you spend the whole doing those things.
Yeah, cool.
Which is excellent. So like you're maybe kind of poised because you've been through this before, right, Jonan? You know this.
So I know I don't want to.
But
to rush out.
who are you picking? The specific person?
Yeah. So I was like,
Elphdara, stay behind me.
Cool.
Elphdara complies, but she's got her bow and arrow ready, like just in case she needs to shoot anything over Jonan's head.
yeah, totally.
I'm gonna type this in for you. And do you want to put in Elphdara just for who you're actually defending? Elphdara!
Elphdara!
Yup. Their child is born. A bit Elfdonan. Jonandar. Jonandar is the best name.
That's a
Elf
great
man.
name.
Right, okay, yeah. So what's everybody doing and who's like, so Jonan's defending. Elphdara's kinda moved to be defended, if you will, behind Jonan. We've got Booker in the background, behind, like, basically hiding. What is Saul-Tana Swing doing?
Well, I guess I'll probably just walk and stand up next to Jonan and ask, your injuries look quite painful.
What are we doing? We're under attack.
Under attack! And then turn to face the way she's facing and like poised to like pounce upon any evildoers.
I think like even as you're like under attack, Brian Blessed, you know,
Yes.
like an arrow like zooms past you, and hits like the kind of the way you came in through the forest, like the kind of path you took through the trees in the background, and bursts into flames. The fire is spreading. The smoke thickens. What now?
Elphdara might. I don't know if that's a good idea though.
Why would you think otherwise?
I mean, I don't think you can blame me for being cautious
Oh
here.
no, not at all. 2 seconds, I close my window. I'm getting some bizarre audio. There we go.
See if I used one of my holds while I'm defending and say I spot a good direction of the arrow and point it out to Elphdara and they open up the attacker to an ally, giving that ally +1 forward against the attacker. So if I'm like,
Elphdara, there! That's where the arrow came from.
Yeah, I don't have an
that-
issue with that at all because I guess it's like all those words make sense, right? So, like it's within the nature of that, I would say, because you're still defending by keeping an eye out, right? You can visually defend someone by going, "There's a problem." So, yeah, I don't see that being an issue. So, Elphdara.
Yeah, I think Elphdara would knock an arrow, and at the same time, like simultaneous to when she's about to fire, say, stick him, and like obviously call upon Thorn to come down and attack the enemy that I hit with the arrow.
Okay.
Hang on, I'll stick a command in.
You really don't want to keep Thorn for long, do you? Poor Thorn.
We're buds.
We're buds.
He'd be sad if I died.
Yeah, but I could be sadder. You know, being
when he
alive to
goes
feel.
down and turns into a fireball.
It's a phoenix! No, it's just
No.
just dinner.
When you attack the same target, add its ferocity to your damage. So that's +3, I think. Everything. Animal companion. Do you want me to click animal companion just so that you can see the? That
So,
gives you the stuff I picked.
yeah, you may as well click that.
Frost. Yeah. Frost
May as well, why not?
+3. So do you want me to do the attacks?
Yeah.
Alright, so then I'll roll Dex. For using my bow.
Oh, yes!
This is the session for rolling a lot better than the last one.
Well, let's
So-
not get too hasty.
Then damage.
I'm fine, Ross, I know what you're talking about. I'm fine. I'm Bluster Loudspell. I've got this.
She just bluster in the trees like, ha ha ha, I'm just testing you. Yeah, damage.
Like, you've got this.
Wait.
What?
She knows. What's the thoughts here?
Allowing her to, I don't know how you would fluff that. I guess just as she's about to loose the arrow, I'm like,
Make it strike true. We might only have one chance.
and it's like a empowering thought that she pulls the arrow back just a little bit further, giving it a little bit more oomph as it's loosed.
See, I'm all for that. Maybe in the next go, when things turn badly, I feel like if you've already went, Elphdara, there, and pointed to the movement in the trees, and Elphdara's just went, arrow, automatic, sick 'em, and she's, whistled up to her bird. I feel that's maybe too quick for you to then add more in, in that kind of fluid, bam, like,
It's
snap
teamwork.
firing. Oh yeah, it totally can be. You're right. But I feel like if you then stop her and go, oh, thank you for those empowering words, you're probably just going to get hit with another arrow. So I feel like if you're going, there, bam, it's going to be quick. So yeah.
Well, that's +3 anyway, so I do 5.
Now, if you mean once per game, you may reroll a single damage roll, yours or someone else's. Where's this coming from? Sorry.
It's my race, human bonus.
Human. Something I've never actually read was a human fighter, unless we did it together, which we probably did. Blah 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 blah. Where is human fighter? Yeah, that's totally fine. You can still use that. I have no issue with you still using that. I just don't see it being a... that it can just be off the back of you having pointed out. You know...
Yeah, totes. I
Um,
don't know how that would be explained in game, but yeah.
no,
that
like
works.
I just feel
happens.
well, if we're re-rolling, it's not that she did the thing and you've told her to do it better, it's that she did it better the first time.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, just as she's about to toss the arrow, I'm like, let it strike true. And like my will and hopes are go as one with the arrow.
Well, it can only get one worse, but potentially 6 better, right?
Yeah, it's well worth it.
So
That
yeah.
is. I think as well with how Elphdara is feeling about Jonan,
Mm.
she's quite attuned to the things that he's saying because she's been paying like specific
Yeah.
attention. So it might just make her go, you know what, this is for Jonan.
Yeah, the human ability for that's actually damn good. Damn
So
good.
yeah, we roll a Madame Age
Mhm. Just click it again, that's fine. There you
+3.
Mhm.
+3 from Thorn equals 8.
go. Okie dokie. Yep. So both your arrow and thorn fly in, and yeah, you hear like a thud from the trees, and like a kind of like almost guttural, like throat gurgling noise, shall we say? Which is not pleasant. And then the hawk flies back towards you, Elphdara, and kind of like does that kind of swooping round and sitting in a tree nearby for dramatic
It's
effect.
holding a hand.
It's not, but in its beak it does have what looks like very dark flesh.
I just kind of shout back to Thorn, thanks.
Just looks at you disappointedly. The fire is spreading, just so you know. It's pretty bad.
Elphdara probably looks between everyone in the party. Obviously, a lot of them have their backs to her, but she just says, we should probably get out of here. That fire isn't going to go anywhere that isn't more fire anytime soon.
I think the problem is that you pretty much have forward, really. Because the way you came in is bad. It's burny.
Mhm.
I mean,
No,
Thorn
that's
has
fine.
up. Thorn's fine.
Elphdara is fine with, like, that as long as it's away.
What do you mean you guys
From the
can't fly?
place.
Goodbye. All those druids. Smug bastards. Okay, so
There is but one way. Let us march forward. Not march forward.
Yeah.
A little more cautiously than previous.
Elphdara kind of says, noticing your slight trepidation in moving forward, just, good, you're learning.
Booker will see that people are moving and shadow along the trees and hop out and begin to run with them.
Calum, remind us, what are your 2 boons? Or I can just read your character sheet if you don't want to say them out loud.
I'll double check. I don't want to. No, my 2 boons are invulnerability to lightning and a mark of divine authority.
Okay. Okay.
Doesn't really help with the fire situation.
No. But good to know. Good to know. It's just in case I had totally forgot that you had that. And what was your vow to maintain it?
My 2 vows.
Yes, indeed.
Honor and valor. So I'm not allowed cowardly tactics and tricks, and I can't allow an evil creature to live, or suffering an evil creature to live.
Nice.
It's forbidden.
That is foreboding.
It has been forbidden.
Okay.
Yes.
So as you are all kind of like huddled around, and as I say huddled around closely, mostly because the fire's making the space available shorter and smaller. Yous are like the smoke is getting thicker and thicker, and as you look into the smoke, it looks like it's almost like twisting shadows, as they slowly kind of take form in the space, backlit obviously by the beautiful burning forest and the cracking of wood from the trees getting split with the flames. And the form, it's like a humanoid shape, black, like pure black skin, kind of bald at first until the shadows kind of like almost coalesce around their head that forms hair that kind of sits over their shoulders, pure black hair, and then the robes take shape, and then the eyes open, and they're very, very kind of shiny eyes with the kind of flames reflecting in them, and they just stare at the party. There's like a sudden chill for everyone in the party, besides obviously like besides the fact that there's fire everywhere. There's that kind of sudden, oh, what? Someone just came out of smoke. And then you just see the grin appear. And we'll leave it there until next session.
Woohoo!
Woo.
Oh no.
Elphdara hates that the woods are burning. It's hurting her little heart.
Yeah.
You share HP with the woods.
That would be
Only in my heart. Heart
Um,
HP.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's quite good.
I enjoyed that very much. I do apologize. Saul-Tana is infuriatingly annoying.
Oh, you never met the priestess.
Oh, okay.
You didn't meet Willie.
Or
Ellie was great.
tomfoolery, or
Tomfoolery.
you still might meet tomfoolery.
You probably will meet
or
Tom
last
Fuller.
no. It's fine. It's fine. You're good.
He will never meet Last Note.
I don't know. I can't wait for Booker, Saul-Tana, and Salador Chips with Nimagim to all be in a party together. That is what I cannot wait for. And Claire, to be honest, would it matter who you took? Because you'll probably leave them anyway, right?
I
Tom.
don't know.
Take Tom.
It would be no. I'm gonna probably go with Shizuko because Shizuko won't leave a mission because of the
Because
honor.
of course. Should have been a paladin. Um, just saying.
She
Yeah,
wasn't cut out for the honourable life.
let us do our end of session stuff now. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that one. That one was a wee bit more fluffy. Also, you rolled way better. That was nice.
I know.
I
I
didn't-
liked my 11. It's the highest I've ever rolled.
Yeah, definitely good.
In this system.
Nice to see the double, like the reroll damage move and stuff come up as well, because I totally forgot that was a human move for fighters. That feels broken as fuck. But I like it.
Yeah, but so is like if you're an elf, you just get 10 plus.
Yeah, like you just win. Also, why don't you just be the scout forever, the one that stops you guys getting
Yeah, I'm
ambushed,
gonna
right?
do that
Like,
from now on.
just as a
Elphdara
safety
is
tip.
Pyramid Scout.
Not that I'm saying that you should always scout, but maybe that's good
Pyramid Scout.
narrative reason if you get out of this problem. With the weird shadow man thing.
Mm.
It'll be fine. What's a sinister looking, pure black eyed, black skinned, black haired, everything black,
Purple people eater?
smiling man ever done wrong? Right.
What here is
I'm glad that you
evil?
described it as humanoid.
Because he was humanoid.
Yeah, it's good when things
I
are
say
humanoid
he loosely,
'cause
I mean it, but I feel bad calling
it means
an
that
it.
I have trained Thorn in the art of attacking.
Yeah, assuming Thorn wants to fly into fire.
Probably not.
Nah.
She probably wouldn't do that to him anyway, even if it was
Yes.
beneficial to her. She's not nasty to Thorn. Helps her out. But she doesn't want him to die.
You really don't,
so-
because they have no hit points. They are so squishy it hurts. Basically, a 6 is a bad thing for you. Just putting that out there. Rip that
Oh
band-aid
no,
off
I
now.
know.
Smash that like button. I think that's 3 this session. Right, so end of session move. When you reach the end of a session, choose one of your bonds that you feel is resolved, completely explored, no longer relevant, or otherwise, blah blah blah. Ask the player of the character you have the bond with if they agree. If they do, mark XP and write a new bond with whomever you wish. Bonds. Balana. And by that I mean Claire. And by that I mean Elphdara.
Well, my 2 bonds currently
Covalent and
are
ionic.
Jonan Goodmunder and myself have sworn to resurrect Willie Williams. We
Mm.
have not resurrected Willie Williams, so that's not resolved. And my other one with Jonan is that Jonan does not understand life in the wild, so I will teach them. I'm not sure. Being
Everything
ambushed,
burns. Being in the wild has been bad for Jonan for every time.
but maybe that lends itself to understanding that the wild is dangerous. It's not an easy life.
I was gonna say,
but
maybe after this quest, yeah, I could see that
I
totally
don't
happening.
think right now that's a
Nah.
resolved tie there.
Not like a Saul-Tana. Speaking of which, bonds.
Brooker's misguided behavior endangers his very soul. Not. At
He was the
all.
most cautious,
Sort of.
in fact,
Yes.
of most of you. So, yeah, I think that needs more. That needs more.
For sure.
Any more bonds, or was it just the one you had? Yeah.
That was it.
I was going to call you Nim again, but I really mean Jonan. Hero over time. He is the wild.
I have been worrying about the ability of Saul-Tana to survive. I think that's added to the relationship between the characters, but he has not yet seen real combat, but I'm sure that will happen.
I was going to say, maybe in the next session that's going to be ticked off quite nicely. I feel like
Yeah.
it's maybe got a bit of how you get through this to go. Anybody else you've got bonds with? Besides, obviously, the one I know you've got with Elphdara. Do you have another one with Elphdara?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, no worries. Booker?
Well, I don't think Saul-Tana had my back when things went wrong there, so
Okay,
no.
no worries. Alignment's next. Back up to Elphdara.
I did not help an animal or a spirit of the wild.
In fact, you endangered one.
I mean, I asked one if it needed anything, but it didn't need anything, so I didn't help it.
That's true, yeah. Also, I don't know if I'm going to let that count as your spirit of the wild, because that seems broken.
It says an animal or a spirit of the wild,
Yeah, it does.
but I didn't help any animals today.
No. Not yet.
Seems like your hawk got a good meal though.
Oof.
Yeah.
I got a good something.
It was disappointed in what it did
That
today.
could be a nice black leather purse, that could be soon. With the right crafts. Okay, Saul-Tana.
I did not deny mercy to a criminal believer.
Not yet.
Not yet.
One day.
It's coming. It's a coming.
Jonan? Alignment?
Defeat a worthy opponent.
Not yet. Like, Saul-Tana's ego isn't a worthy opponent, really, is it? So we're good.
Yeah,
We're
that
good for
didn't
now.
have the finishing blow.
Am I? Not yet. That's for the fan service. I know my side comments are so ridiculous, aren't they, this session? Whew. It's been a long time. What? Anyway, so, Booker, alignment.
I did not leap into danger without a plan.
No, that's right. In fact, you leaped away.
I now realise I could have earned an easy XP there, but I didn't want to die.
That's also true, and I think that's fair. Like, I feel like your alignment
Yeah.
isn't exactly what your characters would instinctually do. It's just what their nature has. So yeah, like, you obviously don't want them to die. You're playing the odds. Blah blah blah. It seems fine. Yeah.
Would if the whole party was like in a place and we just seen an arrow hit the ground, didn't hit anyone, maybe it would have been different.
Yeah. True that. But then again, Jonan was a bit of a star, and made sure that he took it, and it didn't land in the middle of all you guys, which was pretty decent.
Taking it like a champ.
Jonan's a hero.
Jonan is the wild.
Oh, shut Jonan is wild. Jonan is nature.
Jonan
He's
is nature.
formidable and dangerous, but also
Mighty like
beautiful.
a tree, a non-burning, completely safe tree.
Wild and rugged and untamed.
Barking mad, what? Okay, yes, that's alignment's done. Then, let's see. Did we learn something new and important about the world? Wood burns, that is not news.
Oh.
Those magical runes are pretty new for me, but I don't know if everyone else saw them. Maybe
Spontaneous
maybe-
combustion is not a myth.
I mean, I feel like if you studied them, sure.
Yeah.
I feel like seeing things doesn't count. Seeing and understanding, because it says learn something new and important about the world, right?
I learned that old women enjoy spears, and I don't mean that in any way as a euphemism.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Dear gods. Hmm. No.
I learned adventuring is scarier than I anticipated.
I just feel like that. Everybody told you that, though, and you just chose
Yes,
to ignore
but
them.
knowing it and hearing it and knowing it are two completely different.
That's
I like Saul-Tana. It's like night and day with my character and yours.
I
It's
really
great.
enjoy
night and day
Saul-Tana,
with
to be
KN.
honest.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Gay man. Oh, such a good game. Yeah, okay, so I think we'll skip the first one. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? I'd say maybe save that for the sequel.
I mean, I shot something out of the tree.
Was it notable?
It was notable in that it set fire to us.
It was the top point of the session in terms of
yeah.
foes encountered.
In terms of things achieved.
I would say that user would still be in air quote combat. So probably not. I mean, again, maybe next session.
Everyone starts off in defense.
We play the party in defense mode.
Saul-Tana rushes in.
Did we loot a memorable treasure? No.
No.
Again, not necessarily yet.
Traded for books, but that's not looting.
Okay, obviously
Could have looted.
everybody
Could have.
who failed rolls should already have the XP that they've marked. That should already be on your sheets. Calum, you get an extra XP for doing notes. Did you mark that?
Yay.
If you haven't, do so now.
Marked.
Good, good.
You should probably check to make sure they're okay as well.
That seems like that would be fine.
Am I leaving off leveling up then till next session because we're not in downtime of any kind?
How do you mean from now?
Yeah,
till-
so like right now I have enough XP to level up,
yeah, you
but
can't
we're
because it takes
not
hours and
in
days.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe
And,
if
like,
you somehow wrap this up and then make camp or something, you could totally level up mid game. Yeah. I have no issue with that, but it would need to be narratively acceptable, which it currently is not. User in combat, unless you just go, "Hey guy from the shadows, 2 seconds. There's enough fire here for everybody. We'll just set up camp, and we'll talk this out in a bit.
I just have.
I'm gonna go punch this
Garrus-
tree for ages to level up. 2 seconds."
I just have Garrus in my head from Mass Effect 2. It's like, oh, can I wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
Yeah. Not engine calibrations,
Fist
ideally.
calibrations.
Cracks knuckles, serrated knuckles.
Hey, I just come up with a great move.
How did everybody do XP wise there, by the way? How much did you gain? What about you?
I have none.
One.
1!
2, I believe. I had no. One or two, I think it was.
So I don't think you got anything from the end of session,
I gained 1.
and you got one from Mark and XP for
Yeah.
failing. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, like I think the problem with the system, which I kind of like, I say problem loosely, you don't get a lot of XP if you do well, because the game thinks, well, you're fine, right? So you don't need help. But it rewards the people that don't achieve, which I think is quite clever, because it means that even though you might be messing up in the game and you're getting consequences from the GM, you're getting rewarded because you get to level up. And I think that's quite clever.
At the same time, though, it does reward people for exploring narrative and character.
That's
stuff.
what I like, because it is like
So
the more you do.
even though you might not get XP because you succeeded everything, like as long as you're pushing towards sort of resolving bonds and sort of working on your alignment, then you are going to get XP.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, oh, you get nothing. It's just I quite like the just doing badly isn't always bad for you.
No, like that's as I say, that's one of the things that drew me to the system was the fact that A, the GM doesn't have to roll anything. That was one of my favourites. And B, it cares about the story and it wants people to want to be involved. Thus, it needs you to roll. So it's like, well, if you roll, even if you mess up, you'll still get something. Something bad from the GM, but XP as well. And because it doesn't take much, like I think all in, it'll only take 108 XP. I think it is to get all the way to 10. That's not anything. Do you know what I mean? It's not anything at all. So yeah. Anything else people want to add before we stop the recording?
Jonan wears a headband. I forgot to mention that all this time.
All this time. When will the lies end?
That's kind of weird because I imagine Jonan with a headband.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Stop.
I just imagine Bruce Willis.
No,
Yeah.
he has long. He has hair.
Yeah,
I know, but
like sandy blonde, like
I just see him as Chris Hemsworth, a la Thor 1. Just saying. It's just because of the long blonde blush hair. And also kind of in general, just because he's quite a buff man.
He is a beautiful man.
he is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Um,
Confirmed.
I said the right Chris here, Hemsworth. Yeah, that's right one. Good. There's
Yeah.
too many Chris's
Too
in
many
the world.
Chris's.
Yeah. So thanks guys for playing. That was a lot of fun. Goodbye. And Calum is precious. Nicolas Cage, smash that like button, etc., etc., etc.
get it smashed.
Rate, review, and subscribe.